Welcome to the Wardenberg family farm.
Today we're going nuts.
Black walnuts, that is. It's a beautiful early November day and we're going to go out and pick some black walnuts. We probably should have done it about 2 weeks ago, but there are still plenty of them out there. We have about a dozen black walnuts on the farm. Most of them are on the perimeter or over in the woods. So we're going to head over there and see what we can find. Now, Brenda and I did this about 30 years ago, and frankly, we didn't really care for the black walnut then, but I don't think we did it properly. We didn't give them time to cure. So we're going to try to do it right this time, and I have a special machine that's going to help us take the hulls off of these. All right, we're going to take a ride on this beautiful day and head to the other end of the farm near the woods to start collecting our walnuts. Hey, I got some good ones over here. You know, it probably doesn't matter whether you get just all green ones.
I don't know. I'm not a black walnut expert.
No.
I got about as many as I can hold, though.
Okay. Oh, these are some nice ones.
Yeah, they are nice.
Good. Well, we got a pretty good haul here. Enough to test it out. Should be enough to make some great cookies. So, I'm anxious to see how it goes. All right, now it is time to take the hull off of all of our black walnuts. Now there are many, many different ways to do this. I'm choosing to do it the safest way. A lot of people will drive their cars or equipment over them. That works, but what I'm afraid with that is that you would crack the inner shell on it too.
Maybe.
And then when you go to wash them and clean them, it's just not good. So this method is safe. I'm not going to be, you know, a lot of people will jump on them and at 66, I guess I'm choosing not to do that. So let's see how it goes. We haven't done a lot of these and we'll see how frustrating. But basically I just made with a hinge and some leftover hardwood, and I drilled 3 different holes because each one of these nuts and the hulls are different sizes. I think one of them is like 2 1/8. One of them is around 2 and the other is about 1 3/4 inches. So I have to make a random decision on what size to do. So I'm going to try the medium-sized one for this. There we go, and that's pretty good. Just pull the bottom off. Nut in the bucket. Well, we've experimented, and at least with these nuts in their current state, that just tapping them with the hammer seems to work as well as anything. So, and I put them over the medium-sized hole. There goes most of the husk right there, and then peel the top, and that's pretty good. I have a half a 5-gallon bucket full, and I'm going to do the float test. All right, now we're going to do the float test. It'll take a little bit to fill this up, but any walnuts that float means that they've rotted inside. They don't have a good meat supply, so we're going to go ahead and get rid of them. All right, next we have the float test, and I put the water in, gave it a minute, and obviously we have some coming up to the top, which is not good. So I'm gonna peel these off and give these back to the squirrels. And that's about it right there. But boy, look at this. I got my gloves on for a good reason. This will really stain your hands pretty quick and for a long time. But I don't know how to do it, but some folks make a terrific stain using the walnut nuts. So I guess something for another day. All right, a nice crate covered with the black walnuts. I'm just going to give them an initial hose down here before I give them the pressure wash to get some of the roughest stuff off.
Well, it's been 6 weeks since we picked up the walnuts, took the outer husks off, and cleaned them off. They've been drying, and we think they're cured and ready to crack.
So cracking a walnut, that's the most difficult part. We thought taking the husk off was challenging, but cracking them. So if you're familiar with the traditional nut crackers, they will not work on black walnuts. There's other ways to try, but we're going to go out in the shop now and see if we can open these without hurting ourselves. Wow, it's cold out here in the shop, so we're going to be here just for a few minutes. There's many ways to crack a black walnut, and almost all of them are either dangerous or very difficult. You struggle with it. This is frankly the best, the safest way that I have, and that's just to put it in my vise. Now I'm going to crank on it, and you listen for the pop. Boom. Okay. And I'm going to give it one more. Just wait till you see the internal structure of these, and you'll see why they're so difficult to crack. There we go. All right, we'll do a couple more here. There we go. That's a good crack on that one. One more. Okay. All right, let's go inside where it's warm. Okay, now we're back inside in the warm. We have our cracked black walnuts, and we're going to try to take them apart. You're probably familiar with the old nut picking kit, you know, with the nut cracker, and then you get the little tools and picks. So Brenda's trying to pick out the pieces.
They weren't made for black walnuts.
No. We're going to do something here and compare. There's two major types of nuts. The black walnuts, which are native to North America, particularly in the eastern part of the country. And then there are English walnuts. Now we happen to have some English walnuts, and they were given to us by our friends from Afghanistan, where actually English walnuts are not from England. They're not native there, but the English traders brought them in from Central Asia, Persia, you know, Afghanistan, Iran, and the others. So these are actually from Afghanistan. So we've been enjoying these, but I want to show you the difference between these cultivated, grown English walnuts and the black walnuts. Now I'll show you two pictures here. The first picture you're going to see, you can see the very large nut that's inside and how easily it comes out. This, if you look at the outside part of it, the husk of the nut, I guess it's the shell actually, you can see how relatively thin it is compared to the size of the nut inside. Contrast that with now, I'm going to show you a picture of a black walnut. Look how thick the shell is on that. That's why it was so difficult to crack when we had it in the vise. And when it did crack, you heard that big pop. And the nut inside is relatively small, especially when compared with the English walnut. Now, if you know what you're doing, you can crack these in a way that split into 4/4, and it's a little easier to get them out. However,
we don't know how to do that.
no, you can do it with a screwdriver or something with a blade, and you hit it with a hammer. But I think it adds additional risk of harm.
To everything.
Yeah. So we just crack them and do our best to get them out. So they're going to be pre-cracked. So the advantage is you won't have to put them in your handy
Nut chopper. They're already in little pieces.
Yeah.
Very little pieces.
They are. So we're going to continue on here and open more of these black walnuts. So we'll show you what we get here in the end. So our black walnut experiment continues. So what do you think so far? We've taken them apart. We haven't got hurt.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, it is. I'm sure there's a lot of ways to get the walnuts out, but there's also probably a lot of ways you can hurt yourself doing that. So I really think we did the safest way for us.
We did.
Seniors cracking black walnuts.
But then you just have to be patient to dig out all the little pieces.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you can get spoiled awful easily opening the English walnut and go, wow.
And they come out in a nice whole piece.
Yeah, this is easy. This is easy. But so in the end here, we want to do an experiment and taste test each one of these. And to make sure we're giving an accurate representation of the flavor and of the texture, everything of our black walnuts from the farm, we also purchased a bag of black walnuts. And it says naturally bold flavor. I hadn't seen these in the store, but we actually got these from Walmart.
Walnuts, Walmart.
Okay, do you think they need help to get that?
Dad joke.
Okay.
Pop-up joke.
Yeah, but it turns out, looking at these are actually broken up more than what ours are.
Yeah, they're little pieces too, so even commercially they can't get them out in big pieces. It doesn't look like.
So that gave us some confidence that we're kind of on the right trail, that it's really not possible to get black walnuts out as beautifully as you can with the English walnuts.
Or you get the whole walnut in one piece.
Yeah. Okay, so let's start here. Let's start off by tasting the English walnut, which are actually from all over the world, and they're not so much grown in England. I think China's actually the number one producer, Iran, and even the United States. California grows a lot.
I know, we've been munching on these a lot. We love these. Yeah, they're very smooth and mild.
It's a good description. Very pleasant flavor, and like not too dry, and a very mild aftertaste too. So it's easy to sit and eat a whole bag full of these and enjoy them. Okay. Now for the black walnuts.
The naturally bold black walnuts.
Yeah. All right, let's try a couple here so we get a similar amount in flavor.
It's a whole different flavor.
Yeah. It hits you with a big burst of flavor early on, you know, and then it drops down a bit, but it does linger, and it has an actor. It's a lot bolder, absolutely, like the bag says.
It has a very, very strong aftertaste.
It's earthy.
Yeah.
Okay, fess up. Come on.
Tastes like you're eating dirt.
No, that's not fair. But it's a lot bolder, and it's a very earthy flavor. And it's kind of what we remembered 30 years ago.
Yeah, the only time I really remember eating these is when we did them at our old house, and I don't think we did them right. And then my one aunt used to make a cookie called icebox cookies. They were just like basically sand tarts with a tiny little black walnut in the middle. I loved those cookies. And I can remember, as soon as I smell these, it makes me think of those cookies.
Yeah.
But I never sat and ate just black walnuts by themselves.
Yeah. I'm sure there's a lot of you out there that have experiences with children and even adult eating black walnuts.
And have recipes you like.
Yeah, and you've really
them.
grown to enjoy them. And I think it might be an acquired taste because it's so much stronger than the English walnut.
It tastes totally different.
Yeah, yeah.
We got to taste the store-bought ones out.
Yeah, just to make sure that it's consistent.
Yep. I haven't acquired the taste yet.
Okay. All right, so what are you going to give it on a scale of 1 to 5, our flavor index? A 1? Okay. I would say a 2. And, you know, if we eat them more, I'm sure that we're going to learn to enjoy them more. And
Will we? For the people that love it, did you have to eat them for a while before you learned to enjoy them, or what are we missing?
Yeah, we really at this point need some input from you, and also cracking these. How did you crack them when you have black walnuts? And hopefully you didn't injure yourself, but we'd like to see what's the best way to crack these.
Now we're going to try one more experiment yet. I'm going to actually roast some or toast them in a pan, get toasted walnuts, and see if that changes the flavor at all. It definitely changes the flavor of like pecans.
Yeah.
So I want to see if it changes the flavor or mellows it at all.
But I think with pecans it makes it stronger.
I'm going to taste it different.
Yeah.
It's just a different flavor. So I want to see what happens in the experiment, because I can't really say I'd enjoy these.
Okay.
Now maybe in a recipe, but just to eat, no, I'll take the English walnuts.
Okay. Well, more to come. You ready for the taste test?
I think so. I really want to learn to like these things, so I'm hoping roasting them or toasting them made a little bit of a difference. They smell different.
Took a little break here. I went out and plowed some snow, and Brenda...
Toasted up some black walnuts.
Yeah, all right.
They definitely smell not as strong. We'll see.
High hopes. I'm going to try another one.
I liked it in the beginning. It definitely changes the taste of it. I do like them better.
Yeah, it's an improvement.
Yeah. Okay.
They're not quite as strong. And some of them almost before, to be honest, had a little bit of a musty.
Yeah, that's what I get, like a musty
Go ahead and say it.
Musty basement kind of taste. That's what I get. That's why I'm not thrilled by them, but I want to learn to like
This is a big improvement.
these. Toasting them made a huge difference.
Yeah.
So we need
You almost like them now.
I do. I might have to try my aunt's recipe and use some black walnuts. We need your help on this one, though, because I do want to like these. We have black walnut trees all around the farm, and if we can use these, I would like to. So tell us better ways to like them and enjoy them.
We certainly learned a lot through this whole process. We also learned that, you know, early on we did the test. You know, you put all the walnuts in the bucket, and the ones that float are not good. So then we cured the rest of them. But we learned that only that for us, about 10 or 20% of the ones that went through the curing, they also dried up. And
They were like shriveled.
Yeah, so it's easy to tell the ones that are clearly not good. But wow, this is an improvement.
Okay, I'm
Good
feeling
job.
more optimistic about that walnuts. That's exciting. I'm going to have to make something with them now. But exciting.
Yep. Well, hey, thank you for joining us on the Wardenberg Family Farm for our great black walnut adventure.
We'll see you in our next video. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I'm happy.